Hi? Hey? Hello? Hmm.
Hello?
Oh, hi there. I can hear you
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yes. Happy
Um,
Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Yes. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Me too. I feel okay today. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for asking.
So actually, I
Yes.
don't know why every time every time I turn on the mic, but sometimes it automatically turn off. So
Ah, I
what make
see. That's
I
why.
I wonder what make the system turn off.
The microphone. At least now you know
Yeah.
how to adjust it,
Yes,
right? You were
I can
able
adjust,
to.
but sometimes it's very annoying.
All right, of course, because you have to do it all the time. Yes, as well.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Well, how was your weekend?
My weekend actually not special. During weekend there were heavy rains in
Oh.
Korea here and there, so lots of people were suffered from the heavy rains and then flooding.
Hmm. I see. I heard about that as well. Yes, that's why it's not really so good these days to go somewhere.
Yeah,
Yes, right. Okay. Well, then at least you were able to stay at home and be safe there.
yes,
Right?
right.
Yes. All right. Well, then, do you have anything else to share with me?
Nothing special.
Okay. What's your article for today's class?
Today's article is the number 1219.
1219. Mm, 1219.
Yeah,
Oh,
health.
health.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, then, could you please tell me something about this?
Yep. Doom scrolling or doom surfing are new words used to describe the tendency to continue to suffer, scroll through bad news, even though the news is saddening, disheartening, or depressing. Merriam-Webster says, while scrolling existed before the COVID-19 pandemic hit, Merriam-Webster points out that it's really taken hold lately. It's not just about the virus, though. People can doom scroll through news about anything. Basically, if the news is bad or depressing, you can doom scroll it. But why do people do it? Turning out, your brain loves this stuff. We are all hardwired to see the negative and be drawn to the negative because it can harm us physically. Ken Yeager, PhD, a physiologist at the Ohio State University West Wexner Medical Center, Tess Hess. She cites evolution as the reason for why humans seek out the negatives. If your ancestors learned all about how to avoid predators, they could avoid their fate. We can sense danger. Diego says it helps us survive. But in modern times, most people don't realize they are even doing this. To that point, doom scrolling can really change the way you see the world. Diego says people are drawn to doom scrolling because they feel like they have a sense of being able to control any of the bad news, he says. But doom scrolling does not create control and only makes you miserable. The overall impact doom scrolling has on people can vary, but typically it can make you feel extra anxious, depressed, and isolated, Diego says. First, it's important to recognize that you are doing it at all. Dr. Gallupo says, first assess yourself on whether you often look for sad or depressing news. From there, take a beat and think about how you feel after do this. Does it make you feel better and more empowered to have this knowledge, or do you end up feeling even more anxious and hopeless? If it's the latter, Dr. Gallipo says you you want to get out of the habit ASAP. Then train yourself to see the positive in things. It's not going to come about naturally. You have to work on it. Diego says he recommends looking for at least three positive things a day, even if it's as minor as thinking that your coffee was particularly tasty this morning. Over time, these positive thoughts become more meaningful. Diego says, ultimately, you can avoid how intense things are right now, but doom scrolling on the regular isn't doing your physical or mental health any favors, and it's definitely not helping your loved one or society at large either. This is the time for everyone to be really mindful about what we are doing and to try to do better, Diego says. And if that includes putting your phone away once in a while, so be it. That's all.
Right. Any questions about the vocabulary?
Everything is okay.
All right. Okay. One word, psychiatrist.
Psychiatry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Ken Yeager is a psychiatrist. Okay. Yes. Well then, what is the meaning of doom scrolling?
Doom scrolling or doom surfing are new words used to
Mhm.
describe the tendency to continue to surf or scroll through bad news, even though the
Mhm.
news is just saddening, disheartening, or depressing.
Right. Yes. And according to Yeager, why do people like doom scrolling?
Mm, from the Eagle says, doom scrolling. Mm, he cites evolution as the reason why humans seek out the negative. If your ancestors learned all about how to avoid predators, they could avoid their fate. We can sense danger, Eagle says. It helps us survive.
Right. Okay. So it somehow helps us survive as
Yeah.
well. Yeah. So how do you recognize whether you are doom scrolling or not?
Mm, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. First, assess yourself on whether you often look for sad or depressing news. From there, take a beat and think about how you feel after you do it.
Right. Yes. Okay. So do you have a habit of doom scrolling also?
Uh, yeah, I'm really, uh, yeah, I'm a bit tendency to doom scrolling of the bad news or yeah, depressing news.
Mm, I see. Oh, cite some example or situation.
Yes, right. This is about the COVID-19 patients story or the victims of flooding or the news
Mm.
about the real estate cost increasing, economic
I
situation. Yeah, such like that.
see. Right. Okay. So why do you search for those things?
Um, Actually, I would never consider or think about that before. But from the
Mm-hmm.
article, I think I have some kind of attracted that kind of news instantly.
Mm. I see. Okay. So you don't really feel stress if you look at those kinds of news.
Yes, right. And then, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
from the article, so if I check the news about the COVID-19, even though that's saddening or disheartening me, but I could learn
Mm-hmm.
lots of things how to prevent
Yes.
getting infected from the coronavirus.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're very correct. Yes, as well. So you could also learn something from that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are other things you can do to avoid doom scrolling?
Mm. Just scrolling.
Mm-hmm.
I think best way is as this article mentioned, yeah, put away your phone in a while,
Mm-hmm.
and if you cannot do that, I think it's better you download this movies or games
Right.
to get your attraction
Mm-hmm.
to that.
I see. Right. So you have to put, yes, your phone away.
Yeah.
Yes, as well. But that is really hard.
Yes, right.
Right? Yes. It's not really so easy. Yes, to put, yes, your phone away, especially if your phone is your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay. Yes. And do you think that the advancement of technology has contributed to our habit of doom scrolling?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. The advancement of technology, such as a smartphone and 5G internet, actually that makes
Mm-hmm.
lots of news that includes bad news and then good news. It makes it
Mm-hmm.
from just and then spread over the world just in a second. So we
Mm-hmm.
are actually in the lots of yeah flooded information.
Mm-hmm. Yes, right. It would be too fast.
Yeah,
You're right. Yes,
and
but
so
yes. Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's
So.
why sometimes many of the newses we don't we, we don't need to know or we don't need to yeah uh, read for your life or for our
Mm-hmm.
life. But yeah, we from the internet we even though we don't want to watch that, but it just
Yes.
sometimes just spontaneously pop up or posted.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yes, you're very correct. Yeah, that's the problem. Yes, as
Yeah,
well. Right. Even in my case, actually, I don't know any news about the Seoul mayor of Seoul before.
yeah, yeah,
It just popped out as well
exactly.
in my
Yeah,
when I was browsing. Yes, my
yeah,
phone. Yeah, that's why. Right. Yeah. So sometimes I think it's better also if we could select the things
yeah.
that we have to watch as well. In your case, where do you usually read news? Google,
Uh,
Naver.
yes, right. From the yeah down, I like down website, and then
Ah,
yeah, once
I
I
see.
yeah get up and then check my turn on my smartphone, and the first
Hmm.
thing I do is browse the new news.
I see. Daum? Daum is a Korean website?
Yeah, Korean website Naver and Daum. Naver is the first number one, and Daum is the second one.
Ah, that's why it's my first time to hear it. Dump is dumb.
Yes,
Right, yeah. So it's a kind of website like Google or Naver.
yes,
Yes,
right.
as well. Interesting. Ah, so you prefer that to Naver?
Yeah, but actually I don't like Naver because I think Naver is a bit biased to the conservative party. Yes,
I see. I got it now. Ah, that's why.
yes. Many people
Yes.
are suspicious on that.
Oh, as well. Oh,
Yes,
maybe a part of them owned Naver. That's why.
yes, right. These days, yeah,
Stockholder.
big websites they can control the news, and then they
Right.
can filter as they want. There could
Yes.
be sometimes political behavior.
Yes, you're very correct. As well.
Yes,
That's why one also website in my country closed.
yes, right, exactly.
Yes. Okay. Any questions so far?
No, everything is okay.
Okay. Well, then, if you don't have any questions about this, yeah, well, then on Thursday, we're going to continue with a new
Okay,
article. Yeah.
bye bye.
Good night.